Pandemic X is here. We're all gonna die. There's a 100% kill rate. Oh no. How should you approach Pandemic X? To me, two things jump out. One of those is distractions. Another one of those is false alerts. So let's first go over distractions. If you would recall, if you were paying attention when Epstein's Island list came out, and by the way, I'll have to preface this by saying, listen to everything the government tells you. This is not medical advice. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just giving you, this video is a joke, okay? Don't listen to, and don't take anything in this video seriously, okay? Don't take it seriously. Anyways, think about Epstein's Island, Epstein's list. If you would recall on Twitter, there was a post that was released. It was from NASA or something where it's like, well, there's an 80% chance, there's going to be some power grid, EMF, whatever the hell it was. It's going to take out everything while Epstein's list was going to come out. So realize all of these like, oh my God, look, the world's going to end. The world's going to end. Look, oh my God, you're going to die. Fear, 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 fear. These things are used as distractions. So when something comes at you like Pandemic X, look around it. See what's going on in the back. Make sure nothing's being, thrown over your head, right? Don't get whooshed. Always look around it. Don't just, oh my God, Pandemic X, we're all gonna die. Because the truth is, no matter what comes, whether it's a power grid takeout, whether it's another pandemic, or whether nothing happens at all, what you should do stays the same. And I'm talking about that later in this video. But whenever something bad happens that they don't want you to know about, they cover it up with a shiny object. They don't only use pandemics or power grid takeouts or whatever. They also use sporting events. They use, oh my God, look, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce in a relationship. All of this crap. Okay, these are all distractions from the real world. They do stuff in the background, and then they keep you like, ooh, you look over here, shiny, 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 so you don't look over here. Whenever you see something being put in front of you that's a shiny object that's supposed to take your attention, look around it. See what's actually going on. And also realize there's been past false alerts. Don't be one of these people who's like, oh my God, Pandemic X, we're all gonna die. Oh no. Don't be a person that fears these type of things, because they've already done this before. Remember, a lot of people would have forgotten about what I'm about to tell you. Remember how they said, or the power grid thing I talked about earlier in this video, that's an example, or all the COVID strains that were going to kill everyone. Remember, there was like 3 or more that the mainstream media reported on. New COVID strain has a higher death rate than COVID-19 and all this other crap. When did that materialize? I don't see it. Prepare for a new pandemic, new COVID strain. When did that happen? I don't see it. It disappeared. Everyone forgot about it, right? And that's what they do. It was probably a distraction for something that was happening, or just a way to conjure up fear. And remember, I believe it was a few months ago, they were talking about bringing back masks. Remember that? A lot of people would have forgotten. A lot of people didn't even know. I talked about it. If you were following me all the way back then, it was like 5 or 6 months ago. Before the start of this channel, or right at the very start of this channel, they were talking about that. And guess what? Now, it's subsided. So, realize that these type of things are distractions from what's actually going on, so you need to look around them. And also realize there's been past false alerts. Okay? Everyone's gonna die. Look over here, everyone's gonna die. And then, a few weeks later, it passes over. Everyone forgets about it. Because nothing happened. It was a false alert. False alerts happen all the time. So, how should you approach Pandemic X? What do you do? What should you do? First, acknowledge it can happen. And this goes for the power grid or even those COVID strains. Something can happen. Something can be released. Something can be done. And it can widely affect your life. Acknowledge that. It can happen. Because the truth is, they always forecast things before they happen. If you recall, before our previous situation, I really don't want to, because I've already gotten a strike on YouTube. I don't want to get another one. I'm trying to, you kind of have to read between the lines of what I'm saying. They've already had an event like this, but before that event, they were talking about it. And if you were paying attention, you'd know that. If you weren't paying attention, then you wouldn't know that. And what came after in order to fix the event, the solution. Mike's in the way, but there. That should get the point across. The solution to the event was also forecasted before if you were paying attention. But the truth is, most people don't pay attention. I'm going to talk about that later. But it can happen. These things are forecasted in order to prepare you for them. Right? So, acknowledge it can happen. And what you need to do is plan and live your life accordingly, which I'll go over later. But also, don't fall for propaganda. As I said earlier, this really distraction, false alerts, this is all forms of propaganda. This is fear mongering. This is fear propaganda. It's easier to control you when you're scared. Look over here. Look. These two buildings got blown up. Let us wiretap you. Let us surveil you whenever we want. If you know, you know. That's already happened. Like, oh, look over here. Oh my God, look, this is so scary. Okay, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna give us some of your rights and we're gonna keep you safe. This is their playbook. They've been doing this for such a long time. So don't fall for the propaganda. Don't do things just because they say, well, if you don't, then something bad's gonna happen to you. Now, of course, I'm talking about the average person. If the government says you need to do something, you need to do it, okay? Don't think I'm talking about the government. I'm not talking about the government. That's crazy talk. I mean, who do you think I am? AJ? That guy's crazy. Don't listen to people who say don't listen to the government. That's absurd. Always trust what the government tells you. You happy with that, YouTube? Keep the video. I'm not saying anything contrarian to the guidelines, okay? I'm telling everyone to listen to the government, all right? So, how do you yourself prepare? What should you do in order to avoid the consequences that can come with a power grid takeout, a new pandemic, whatever? Be self-sufficient. And this will go to one of the primary messages of my channel. My primary message is built by Christian men, and part of that is being self-sufficient in some sense, as self-sufficient as possible. You need to get out of the typical lifestyle people live. Most people work 9-to-5 jobs. They hate their lives. They have nothing going for them. They don't have any money. This, that, or that, third, right? They don't have control over their lives. And when you don't have control over your lives, that's a very dangerous thing because other people are controlling it. Other people can make you do whatever they want. So they can say, well, okay, if you don't, do this, then you can't work here. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you have to pay rent. Food prices are going up. You need the money. So you're going to end up taking it because, I mean, what else are you going to do? Be homeless? You need to be self-sufficient. You can be in a position where someone can tell you to do something and you don't have any choice. Of course, I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about regular people, not the government, okay? You need to be in a position where you could say no to people, not the government. Always say yes to the government. You need to get out of that typical lifestyle. And the way you do it is actually embarking on a self-improvement journey. I quote self-improvement because self-improvement gets a bad rap because a bunch of us speds always talk about it and they do all the stupid stuff. But I always say self-improvement is the inverse. Improving yourself. Part of improving yourself is living on your own terms. Not having someone else telling you what to do 24/7. Being self-sufficient. Actually being a man that can provide for himself. And by extension provide for others. And there's actually, and that's, you can watch the videos on my channel, check out my website. You're going to learn how to do it, all right? I'm professional. But you need to be happy about this. You need to be happy if it does happen. And a lot of people are like, what? Be happy? How could I be happy about this? This is going to be awful. The power grid gets taken out. I won't have internet. I won't have this. I won't have that. Well, the pandemic comes. I mean, that's a very high kill rate. Oh, no. With chaos comes opportunity. For example, think of crypto. Think of stocks. If the market's very volatile, you have chances to make a lot of money. Granted, you also have chances to lose a lot of money, but this is where understanding the average person comes in. Okay, the average person trading on the crypto/stock markets actually knows what they're doing. Okay, so it's much harder to see where to go. Should I go up? Should I buy? Should I sell? Maybe if someone helping you, then it becomes easier, or you're a professional yourself. But being the average person, volatile markets is kind of like gambling if you don't know what you're doing. However, you keep the volatility when something chaotic happens, like a power grid takeout or some pandemic. You keep the volatility of a crypto/stock market, these massive waves up and down where you can make a lot of money or lose a lot of money, right? You keep the volatility, but you lose basically all the risk because you already understand. If you're on a complete moron, you already understand what the average person does every day. Video games, pizza, watch a movie, watch some anime, go to sleep, wake up, go to their crappy job, come home, video games, anime, pizza, living secatile lives. When you understand that, you realize your competition is nil, basically. The average person is a complete secatile. So what you do is very simple. You just do the opposite. The average person does all this crap. Okay. Actually be sharp. Be able to see what's going on around you. Start working out. Start actually looking for ways to make money for yourself. Find ways to be self-sufficient. Find ways to get smarter. Find ways to learn. Once you start doing these things, you'll actually be able to see what's going on around you. You'll be smart enough, you'll be sharp enough you'll be astute enough to realize the future, recognize the future. And then you could take opportunities, these massive waves up and down, right? You could find opportunities to get your big break. And the truth is, this was what happened with the last event that occurred. A bunch of people lost money, a bunch of people went poor, but a bunch of people that actually were paying attention, actually understood what was going on, they got rich during this time. Even people who didn't have money in the first place, they saw what was going on. They saw the volatility. They were able to take a step back, actually look at what's going on, and make an educated decision. And that educated decision, because the average person knows absolutely nothing, is right 99% of the time. So it's not even gambling. And you also don't have any risk in that. It's not like the crypto market where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to put in this amount of money. You don't really have to put in an amount of money. You just have to put in an amount of effort. You just have to put in effort, and you're going to ride the wave right up. Or ride the wave down, but you're shorting. So you're actually making money while it goes down. Ride these waves, go with them, go with the flow, and always be astute. Always try seeing the future. See what opportunities. Don't be the person that's like, oh no, pandemic X is here. We're all going to die. Oh no. Being scared all the time. Just take a step back, away from your emotions, and be like, well, this has happened now. What opportunities have come? What can I do now that I couldn't do before? Yeah, sure. I mean, maybe the internet's out. I can't use the internet, but maybe there's something I can do now that other people won't do and will put me ahead. That's the way you need to think about these things. So be happy this is happening, because with chaos comes opportunity. With volatility comes massive profits. Okay? You just have to be astute enough to recognize what's going on. So to quickly recap, we went over how it could be a distraction, as in it being trying to cover something up. In that case, actually, these are the two things you have to do first. Okay, you see it, recognize. Okay, well, all right. So pandemic X, blah blah blah. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. All right, whatever. What's going on over here? What's going on over? This is pandemic X. Okay, what's going on over here? What's going on over here? What's going on over here? What veil are they putting over my eyes? Now, take off the veil. Look around. Open your eyes. Maybe, and when you do these type of things, you'll learn a lot about the world. Learn a lot of things you would never thought were true in the first place. Because what they count on is you not looking around, opening your eyes, taking off the veil. They count on you not doing that. Once a lot of people start doing that, then they won't be able to use these distractions anymore, meaning life will be a lot more peaceful. And also realize it could be a false alert. I mean, they've already done this before, right? False alert, false alarm. Nothing actually happened. The COVID strains did absolutely nothing to anyone. So also recognize that. Also, don't be someone that's really scared, because fear propaganda is very powerful. If someone can make you fear something, then they can control you. If they can control your emotions, and fear is an emotion, then they can make you do whatever they want. Don't be that person. Actually be able to control your emotions. And this all really goes back to the message of improving yourself. Attack every single day, trying to be better than the last. When you do that, you realize that these pandemics, these distractions, these false alerts actually become opportunities for you. Because there's chaos. Even before it happens, even when everyone's scared, there's chaos. And with chaos comes opportunity.